After all these years, I still wish I could go to Pizza Planet. Hey everybody, welcome to Mainly Movies. Today I'm going to be talking about Pixar's 1995 animated adventure, Toy Story. If you're new here, please consider subscribing for a variety of movie-related content like reviews, ranked lists, and trailer reactions. All of my reviews include a breakdown of the pros and cons, my rating, and some tailored film recommendations, so be sure to watch through to the end of this video for all of that extra content. Toy Story stars the vocal talents of Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, Don Rickles, and John Ratzenberger, and was directed by John Lasseter. It tells the story of Woody, an anthropomorphic cowboy doll voiced by Tom Hanks, who's the favorite toy of his owner, Andy. Everything changes, however, when Andy gets the new Space Ranger action figure Buzz Lightyear, voiced by Tim Allen. After getting lost, the rivalrous toys must put aside their differences and learn to work together to make it back home to Andy. Toy Story is a truly incredible film. I know I probably should have held off on saying that until later in the review, but how could it not be said right away? This movie serves as the starting point for so many things. Most obviously, it kicked off the Toy Story franchise by asking a simple question: what if toys had feelings? And in answering that question, the world of Toy Story and the characters that inhabit it were established. But this movie's impact is felt beyond its own franchise. Not only was it the very first entirely computer animated feature film, sparking an animation movement that has all but replaced the hand-drawn style, but it was also the feature-length debut for Pixar, the studio that's brought us nearly 25 years of entertaining and emotionally gripping animated films. We've come to expect great stories and innovation from Pixar, but when Toy Story came out, nobody really knew what to expect. If you were to read the basic plot summary of this movie with no knowledge of the franchise or Pixar at all, it would sound incredibly juvenile. A movie about a kid's toys coming to life sounds like a perfect fantasy. For kids. And it is perfect for kids, but it's also perfect for adults too. Of course, there were animated movies with strong emotional cores that worked on that dual level before Toy Story, but that's where the Pixar logo really makes a difference. With Toy Story, they were able to craft a story and set of characters that were engaging and relatable to both kids and adults for different reasons. I was 5 years old when Toy Story was released, and I grew up with the franchise, so I've been able to experience this film from both perspectives. As a kid, you view this as a comedic fantasy adventure. It's fun, it's colorful, and it has a bunch of extremely memorable characters. It brings to life this whole unseen world of toys, and I'm sure I wasn't the only kid who got home from the theater and secretly hoped I'd be able to catch a glimpse of my toys walking around. The surface level plot and cool premise are extremely engaging and entertaining for a kid, but when you watch this film as an adult, you realize just how well crafted this movie really is. There's quite a bit of dual level humor here, especially with some of the quips and puns from Ham and Mr. Potato Head. You know, the kind of stuff that will make adults chuckle, but kids won't understand or even notice. And there's plenty of clever ways that certain toys and ideas are utilized in this film. But that's still all just looking at that surface level. What makes this movie so meaningful is what lies beneath. It's the themes and messages found throughout it. This is such a thematically layered movie, and as a kid, you don't pick up on those themes, at least not consciously. But the older you get, the more of those themes you start to notice. This movie deals with a lot of very relatable things. Friendship is obviously a huge theme here, but it's explored in such a nuanced way. I mean, Randy Newman's "You've Got a Friend in Me" might seem really on the nose with that concept, but it's applied in different ways. At first, we're focused on the friendship between Woody and Andy, but eventually that song describes the relationship between Woody and Buzz. Jealousy is another big thing in this film. These toys live to be played with, and they're terrified of being replaced. So we see jealousy bubble up in Woody when Buzz arrives. At first, he seems kind of petty and mean-spirited, but then you get that really emotional montage sequence as all the cowboy stuff is being replaced by Space Ranger stuff, and you understand just how hurt Woody is by it all. And despite dealing with toys, it's surprisingly relatable. We're all afraid of losing our place in the world, whether that be a kid with a new sibling on the way, or somebody whose best friend has just made another new friend, or even parents whose kids have gone off to college. Other themes from this movie have that relatable connection too. The fear of being physically lost, the anxiety of being alienated by your friends, losing confidence in yourself, and the depression that could result from that. And, of course, the desire to find your way back home. Yeah, it's a kids' movie about talking toys, but it's so much more than just that. Toy Story came out at the perfect time for me. I immediately loved and latched onto the story and characters, and I still feel a very deep connection with this movie. I've easily watched it 70, 80, maybe 100 times, and it still puts a smile on my face every time. The characters are great, the adventure is fun, it's endlessly quotable, and the strength of its emotional core is remarkable. I've loved Toy Story for the last 24 years, and there's no doubt in my mind that I'll love it for infinity and beyond. Alright, let's talk about the pros and cons. Pro number one is the premise. The whole idea of an unseen toy world amongst our own is amazing, because this isn't some fairy tale or fantasy land. Andy is just another kid, living in an animated version of our own world. So, if his toys are really alive, it makes you question the toys in our world too. Other than the likely severely traumatized Sid, nobody ever sees these toys move, so it builds in this plausibility to a completely implausible concept. The degree of world building in this movie is spectacular, and seeing the clever ways that all the different toys are utilized is still entertaining no matter how many times I've seen the film. Pro number two is the assortment of characters. It's a fun story with a cool premise, but Toy Story wouldn't be anything without its characters. The dynamic between Woody and Buzz is fantastic, as they go from rivals to friends over the course of the movie. I think part of why these characters are so memorable is because of how genuine they feel and how relatable their interactions with each other are. They're sarcastic, they poke fun at each other, they fight, and they're still able to find common ground. Woody and Buzz are clearly the two main characters in this story, but the supporting characters are equally as memorable. The witty Ham, the sarcastically cynical Mr. Potato Head, the neurotic Rex, the kind Bo Peep, the energetic RC, and of course the loyal Slinky Dog. All of them play an important role, not only in the story, but in helping to really flesh out Woody and Buzz. They're all really interesting and well-developed characters. So developed, in fact, that they truly feel real, which I guess was kind of the whole point anyway. Pro number three has gotta be the thematic layering. For a movie about talking toys, this has got so much heart and so many important, relatable messages built into it. You can watch this as just a fun adventure comedy and enjoy it without ever getting the feeling that there are messages or themes they're trying to shove in your face. Or you can watch it with that thematic lens open and see the truly heartfelt core themes of friendship, childhood, and self-worth. Pro number four is how fun this movie is. This one wraps in a few of the other pros I've talked about. The premise, the characters, it all just works together as this cohesive, enjoyable thing. It's so quotable and has so many memorable and funny moments. The Army Men's recon mission, Buzz's first flight, the barrel of monkeys, the claw, Mrs. Nesbit, poor Scud's eyelids, and that perfect Hakuna Matata scene. I can just sit here and play all these moments back in my head and smile and enjoy them even when I'm not watching the movie. As far as cons go, I don't really have anything negative to say about this movie. I mean, I've got a couple minor nitpicks, but nothing substantial. Overall, the animation still really holds up. It definitely looks like it's from the 90s and kinda has this plasticky feel to it, but that really works for toys. I guess the human characters don't exactly look the best, and every male child besides Sid has Andy's face, so you'll never be able to unsee that now. Sorry. I guess I've also always thought it was a little weird just how quickly all the other toys turn on Woody, and it's always bugged me when Ham jumps on Woody at the end and somehow RC flies up in the air. But really, those are super, super minor nitpicks. I'm gonna give Toy Story 5 out of 5 paws. Yes, I have a very strong nostalgic connection to this one, but it's also a truly great movie, blending an interesting premise with extremely memorable characters and a meaningful emotional core. I would recommend Toy Story to anybody who's a kid or has ever been one. So, anybody. Like almost every other Pixar film that followed it, this movie was able to tap into entertainment and emotion in equal measure to craft a story that's enjoyable for people of any age. Obviously, those who enjoy Pixar and animated films in general will probably get the most out of this, but I don't really see how anybody could dislike this movie. If you liked Toy Story, I've obviously got to recommend the rest of the Toy Story franchise, if you haven't seen them already. I haven't watched Toy Story 4 yet, but I'd say it's probably safe to assume we could put that one up too. If you really liked the heart and premise, check out Finding Nemo for another one of Pixar's emotional finding a way home stories, this time featuring anthropomorphized fish. And if you just want more toys that are alive, be sure to watch Small Soldiers for a darker take on the idea. Alright, a couple questions for you guys. Number 1, have you seen Toy Story? If so, what'd you think of it? And number 2, what was your favorite childhood toy? Be sure to leave your answers in the comments below so we can get a discussion going. Alright, so if you got some enjoyment, insight, or information out of this review, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, and if you haven't done so already, please hit subscribe while you're at it so you can see more videos like this. Till next time, this has been Alyssa with Mainly Movies, the way life should be.